Hey guys, today's video is a hot take that I'm sure 90% of you won't agree with, but let me know. I'll be interested to hear your thoughts. Basically, my opinion is that the current server we have, which is kind of like a merged server as of Friday, I think 9th of June, it's every server that's ever existed in the last 3 years merged into one. My belief is that this should never merge into the new global servers that will open next month, we believe. The reason for this is there is a massive disparity already in players, because server 1, which was opened a long time ago, over 3 years ago, has been playing for a long time. They've collected all kinds of stuff. They got legendary lords before they were lords, so a much higher summon chance to get hold of those guys. And they were given a massive amount of compensation. So they're very, very strong players. And if you go look in Arena, you'll see loads of people with A5 Hatsuits. So if you just pan across some of the top Arena players at the moment, A5 Hatsuit, an A5 Hatsuit, A5 Hatsuit, A5 Hatsuit. And this is just me picking from the top 5, which you would expect more of, but even Wales would struggle to get an A5 Hatsuit. I know one who doesn't. And the 5th Awakening for Hatsuit is actually very good. Anyway, that's a minor point. It's just saying that it's kind of tough for new players in the current server to compete when you have people from existing servers who have unfair benefits over them. And I think we shouldn't persist that past this. I think the entire test server, I'm going to be honest, I've held back this opinion for a long time because I didn't really want to upset anyone. I didn't see the point, but this is my spicy take video, so you'll have to bear with. I think this entire server structure is a massive balls up. I think they screwed this up massively. In my opinion, they should have announced ages ago, hey, we have this beta test, we're testing for global release. If you want to play, here's how it's going to be. Either A, we're going to wipe everything, or B, you will never merge with the future server. They should have made that clear as day from the beginning. Instead, they didn't. They wanted to earn some cash to prolong the development so they can afford to do stuff, which I understand, but I think the decision was very poorly made. And what we end up with is a bunch of players who've invested time and money into their accounts, and they don't want to see that go to waste, which is very understandable. However, if you take this server and you merge it into the global server, people who are joining the game, expecting this to be a brand new game, largely American players, they're going to get absolutely stomped. It will be like joining Raid Shadow Legends now. I would never do anything like that. For me personally, if I want to play a gacha game, I want to play it when it's just released. We're all on the same footing, and you can compete and you can do okay as a free-to-play player. This is effectively like introducing thousands of whales to the global server. If they were to merge us with global, it would be introducing thousands of whales. That's the equivalent of the power level difference. And it's a lot worse than that. And I just want to make it clear, I don't do this for my benefit. I have a very powerful account that I've worked on, I've done a bunch of stuff on. I hit 30 unique legendary summons the other day, so I have a lot of stuff on my account, a lot of very powerful heroes that I'm very proud of, and I've got very good gear on. So it's not like I'm gaining from this opinion. I genuinely think it is better for the game and for the community as a whole. If you were to introduce accounts like mine and some of the older accounts into the global server, you are going to eviscerate that player base. They will never have a chance to compete in the future guild versus guild. I mean, look at the power of some of these guilds. We have 3 guilds over 100k, and we have another one creeping into it. That is a lot of BP across the players. If you just scroll through this, a lot of these are 4,000, 5,000 accounts. That's a lot of resources. When Guild versus Guild comes out, those spots, if they do merge the servers even 6 months, even a year in future, when that happens, all of the progress of the global players are going to be immediately crushed because they will not have a chance. Wales will not have a chance, I promise you. You can spend as much money as you want and you will not be able to compete with us. I will probably, with this account, I reckon I could crush any whale on global release because there's been changes over the time that this server's been up. I have loads of, look at this, I have loads of ancient gear. I have all this ancient gear. And most of this I got from special events that came up, from increased drop rates, from changes in previous patches. There was a patch where a couple of us noted the ancients were dropping a lot faster. So we farmed like crazy for 2 days because we were like, they're 100% going to nerf this. So let's just get as much as we can. So we did. And I have a whole bunch of ancient mythic gear. I have stuff that's rolled better than you can get hold of now. And yeah, I don't have the best gear, but I have gear that will be very hard to get hold of now and going forward. And yeah, you can't whale that, you can't compete with that because that's just a lot of farming. I think if they merge it, they're going to kill the game eventually. If in 6 months people are enjoying the game, they're progressing, guild wars are starting to spice up, you've got your whale lead guild and you've got a few other guilds, and then suddenly, bang, 10 guilds come in from the old test servers, we just annihilate everybody. They have no chance to compete, and they think, well, what the hell is the point in this? I'm playing catch-up against 3-4-year-old accounts at that point. I think it's a terrible thing. I think my solution, so I guess that's my long rambling rant out of the way, that's my stance on things. My solution is allow us to make accounts on the global server and give us some kind of compensation. I don't think it should be excessive. I think we should keep this server, keep these accounts, and maybe let this server get updates sooner so we can continue being testers. That gives us some benefit to staying here, and give us some form of compensation for the global server. Maybe give everyone a couple of legendaries or a legendary selector or something like that. It's not going to break the bank. It's not like giving people A5 lords or anything crazy. And I know that's not going to be enough for a lot of people watching this. They're going to think, well, I've got way more than that. And I do as well. I've got all this stuff on my account. And I would like to keep it, but I don't think it's worth destroying the balance of the game and ruining the fun for players coming in the future. So yeah, that's my biggest concern with Watcher of Realms at the moment. I think the game has a good skeleton. I think it's going to do pretty well on launch. But my concern is sometime down the line they'll merge the servers together and we're going to flood it and absolutely annihilate it. Guild versus guild will get overrun, arena will get overrun. Bearing in mind, if you don't make Overlord now, you're going to lose out on an Ancient Summoning Crystal and 200 diamonds every single week, which is a big loss. And on our current server, this has got a lot harder for players. I've only just about managed to get it this week. I mean, we only had a few days, but yeah, newer players have no chance at getting Overlord for a while, I think, because there's so many players now. And if you introduce that to the global server, I just think it's going to be messy. So yeah, that's my opinion on things. Let me know what you think. As always, we're waiting to hear what the developers say. I'm guessing they won't say anything, and then eventually they'll say, hey, they're going to merge the servers in like a year's time. I have mentioned it on the Discord. I've left a suggestion, and I've reached out to one of the community managers. I don't imagine much will happen, but yeah, I just wanted to share because for me, I think this is my biggest concern with the global release. And hopefully they give us some news on it, because I think it would be unfortunate for new players to feel like they're out before they've even started. Anyway, that's a pretty long rambling rant. Sorry if it's not too cohesive, but I kind of wanted to cover a few different things. Thank you guys for watching. I look forward to joining you in the next one. Take care and bye-bye.